Peace, 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 and blessings, family. It is yours truly, your favorite serial entrepreneur, Alton D. Walden III. My queen, Amani Amari. She is executive director of all of the businesses. Tonight's broadcast is sponsored by Synergetic Network Group LLC, where we are your community liaison for entrepreneurs and consumers. So for those of you who are exactly that, please feel free to put your business information out there in the comments.
That's all.
We would love to support you. We have a special guest on tonight. This future multi-millionaire in the building, straight from Haiti, baby. That red, that blue, that white, you know what I'm saying? King Adorable. And we have CEO of Exodus Life Change in the building, Ray Wilkerson. Thank you so much for tuning in, Bob. I greatly appreciate your continued love and support. We are getting that money together. We are getting that money together. Most importantly, helping to transform people's lives for the positive economically. So make sure you check us out. Offering business credit, offering business funding, credit restoration. We got you. We got you. We got you, family. We got you. Don't be concerned about being denied when you got your own people by your side. We got you.
That's real.
At this time, if you'd be so kind to share and invite, if you would, let us know where you're tuning in from, your city and state. That'd be great. Again, what city and state? That'd be great. Listen, you're in for a treat on the night. As I stated, we have author, speaker, serial entrepreneur as well, a father, got his princess on the way.
Appreciate it.
You know it, man. King Kevin Dover. Make sure you check him out. Baba said, we not making it rain. We are making it game. I can feel that.
Respect.
I feel that. New Jersey, South Carolina, and Louisiana in the building. All right, fam. We get ready to dive in. We're not going to belay it. You know, got things to do, places to go, people to see, and all those wonderful things like that. King Kevin Dorff, how you doing on this evening, my friend?
Oh man, it's a great day to be alive. How about yourself, brother?
Hey, all is well. Thank you for asking. It's always a blessing to serve with you, brother. You know, we go years back, you know, doing the crime panel in South Florida down there, Miami. You know, I thank you so much for that invite, man. You know, then you did the C2B chess club with the youth, man. You know, I had an opportunity to sit down with the young people and, you know, learn some chess myself. And, you know, you just constantly on the move, man, doing great things. We served together, too, with New Game Movement, where we mentored young men from the ages of 7 to 17 as well. We were side by side during that time as well, man. So I definitely know that you're a man, you know, that put your words in action, man. You're always doing something, you know, to empower the community, bringing information, you know, and providing your services, man, to help them, man. So, you know, we're just humbled and honored to have you on the platform once again. And we're looking forward to hearing all the upcoming events that you have going on, man. You know, right now you got the Winner in the Mirror book, you know what I'm saying? So we want to definitely talk about that, man. I definitely got your 7 types of queens and kings desire. You know, I did purchase that. That was an excellent read. And I still remember we did the golden, what was that event we was at again, man?
That was the Golden Love and Relationships panel.
Oh, man, listen, I'm not just saying it, man. That was awesome, man. My wife and I really enjoyed ourselves that night, man. You know, and the message that you brought, you know, about the book, you know, I love the ego. You know, that's my thing, man. You know, when we was talking about how the ego, man, you know, if you don't mind, just dive in, just touch on that real quick, man. And we're going to go into everything else. So talk to us about the ego real quick, because I can't remember. You said something about the ego. She tries the male to see if he can, you know, hold it down.
Oh yeah, definitely. You talking about the courtship that the Eagles do? That's in the one of the chapters in Seven Types of Queens, King Desire, my second book. And when eagles are mating, of course, just like humans, the female gets approached by a lot of other male eagles, so she has to use discernment on which eagle she's going to mate with, because eagles, when they mate for life. There is no divorce. The only thing that divorces them is death. So, you know what I'm saying? So
I'm glad that's not my case, boy. Oh man, I would have died if I stayed with the other ones. I tell you that.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey,
I'm talking about literally, brother, literally.
No. Hey, you have to tell me about that. I'm off the record.
Oh yeah, definitely, brother.
But yeah, so the female eagle does is that when the male comes and he wants to court her, she put him through a series of tests, flight tests, so to speak, and she's testing his endurance, she's testing his consistency, and she's testing his strength. And so if she's attracted to him, she'll grab a stick and fly up in the air, and she'll, for a certain amount of height, and she'll drop it in hopes that he'll catch that stick before he hits the ground. And then if he passed that first test, she'll grab a bigger stick and fly even higher, maybe 25 feet, 30 feet, and drop it on the floor. Now, drop it, and then if it hits the floor, then the test's over. But if he catches it, she'll fly up even higher. And this time she might even pick up a small log and fly even higher, and maybe 100 feet this time, and then she'll drop it, and hoping that if she likes him, that he catches it, and then they, if he passes the test, then they'll lock claws and do this spin in the air, which is a beautiful thing. I think everybody should definitely YouTube that to take a look at it, because it's breathtaking. I don't know how many of y'all have seen eagles in person, but they're beautiful and magnificent creatures. So I can see why.
Humongous too.
Humongous. Oh yeah, definitely.
Eagles are huge.
Huge, powerful, majestic. There's so many qualities about the eagle. That's why many countries take the eagle as their symbol for their country. Whether it's the U.S., France did it, Russia did it as well. So that's what's going on with the eagle. But I feel as if it was important to share that story with people regarding the eagle and courting and mating, because a lot of times in our relationships we just go with the looks. We don't really go and look beyond the looks. We don't look into the spiritual component of a person, which you can inherit a curse or a blessing depending on who you're dating and who you're with. So
that's right.
So I mean that's you can see how things can go really backwards when relationships aren't really working, and then you come to find out you were with a demon and not someone that you was hoping that was going to be a blessing to you. So definitely. Yeah. Definitely Seven Queens was and believe it or not, Seven Queens is still my bestseller, man. We just had
I can definitely believe it.
Yeah. See, your queen read it. The book took me to London. The book took me to Haiti.
I have it right here.
Oh so man, see, you got one of the hardcovers, man. You got one of them.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah. No doubt. You know what I'm saying, family? You ought to go purchase this book. I mean, it is an excellent read, but this brother is a awesome author overall. He has his new project out, which is The Winner in the Mirror, Activating Your Superpowers, Mind, Body, and Spirit. He has The Courage to Believe as well, Never Give Up, Keep Moving Forward. So just by the titles, family, you can definitely tell by the title of the book that it's some empowering content. And I'm telling you, I'm not just saying this because he's a friend of mine. I'm serious. I read the literature. Okay. Literally, he allowed me to read The Winner in the Mirror, and I mean, it was absolutely phenomenal. So you want to definitely go purchase. So let's talk about this, King, because I love to read it. I definitely got a lot out of the book. So, how did you come up with the title of this book? Talk to us about that.
Well, the Winner in the Mirror, the title of that book, first of all, it just got released last week. So I want to give shout out to everybody who helped me produce it, publish it, edit it, and get it out there. So there's big expectations. The title, and by the way, I'm going to say this again. Please do not get the book on Amazon or any of my books from Amazon because Amazon takes 70%. So please don't do that. Get it from my website, kevindover.com. To your question, the Winning the Mirror, the title came from, honestly, it was just because sometimes what I do, and not actually sometimes, well, for the past several years, I'll place a sticker on the side of my mirror of something positive, some sort of affirmation. And whether it's, you're a king or you're great, you're awesome, something, just something simple that I'll read to myself, whether I say it out loud or I read it silently. And so over time, I knew I wanted to write something inspirational.
So we talking about affirmations.
Correct. Oh, well, big time. The book is filled with affirmations. It's from the beginning to the end. Because a lot of times we are seeking affirmations in the wrong places, whether it be social media, strangers, people who really love us, or they claim to say they love us, but they're really demoralizing us or degrading us, but they're saying that, I love you. So affirmations are very important, especially amongst, Black youth.
I agree.
Oh, big time, big time. We need, as men, we need affirmation from our fathers, and unfortunately, a lot of Black males, we didn't get that information from our fathers. It was maybe from a pastor or a teacher, or only from our mother, the females of the family. But that's how I got the title, because I kept, I have affirmations on the mirror, and I just remember one day saying to myself, like, wow, I am a winner in the mirror, and so that's how the main title came. Now the subtitle came about when I realized, how many people don't understand their divinity. They don't understand their gifts, their powers. They don't understand how much of a miracle they are. A lot of times we get caught up in looking, praying for a miracle, but we forget how much of a miracle we are, here today, still living today. That's why I always, my greetings are to, it's a great day to be alive, and that's because I truly believe that. You know what I mean? So activating your superpowers, mind, body, and spirit, I wanted to help people become whole, you know what I'm saying? Not just feel good about yourself, but also, get your mind right, because give you some sort of mental correction going on with the mindset of our people, not just in the Black community, but this book was really geared originally towards the Black community. And but I kind of like veered from that because regardless that it's not the target market isn't just the Black community, it's for anybody suffering from mental illness. And that's a big problem, especially amongst our young Black boys. You know what I mean? Believe it or not, the young kids, young Black boys from the ages, I believe 8 to 16 is the #1 growing rate in suicide. The #1 growing population in suicide is our young Black boys. And so when I found that out, I want to do something about it. So I put this. So I heard them put this book together. But believe it or not, I was working on a follow-up to 7 Toxic Queens, which was 7 Toxic Kings. Queens.
Yeah, I recall you telling me about it.
Right. As a matter of fact, I was knee deep in that in the follow-up. But I stopped. I literally stopped to finish the Winning the Mirror. Because a friend of mine, and I tell the story, and you read it in the introduction of the book. A friend of mine, his son committed suicide. The week that he was supposed to, my condolences. Bryce Gowdy, rest in peace. I know his father. I played football and ran and track with his father. You know what I'm saying? And his auntie was, we graduated high school together in Deerfield, South Florida, 1999. So I'm very familiar with the family. And so, but I was well aware his son was a high school standout, top athlete, highly recruited all over the country. But he wanted to go to Georgia Tech. And the week that he was supposed to sign his commitment letter and, get the ball rolling so he can, go ahead and move up here to Georgia. But Georgia Tech is right here at downtown Atlanta. I see all the time before I go to the gym. So every time I pass by, I think of him because he committed suicide that same week because all the stress that he was going through and, maybe some spiritual components to it. I'm not really sure. But
I know you touched on that in your book too, man. So let's touch on that a little bit later on after you finish this.
No doubt. Yeah. So when the news hit that he committed suicide right at the beginning of 2020, he committed suicide. I was like, man. And then I already read the articles about the growing suicide rate amongst black boys, young black boys at that.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, you know what? It's time for me to actually write something that can have immediate impact and help our people. So that's how I end up, finishing and just staying focused on the win in the mirror. So, but I want everybody who reads it, whether you're struggling with confidence or you may have some some issues with your procrastination, you have a hard time of visualizing a future that you want in life. So I help you step by step on how to do that. And so that's that's the blessing behind the win in the mirror.
Absolutely, man. So I recall reading a piece in there, and you touched on it briefly earlier as you were speaking. And I recall reading, and you definitely put a lot of emphasis, Brother Kevin, on the mind. I noticed that. You speak a lot about, consciousness,
Right.
in self-love and self-care. And, tell us, why are you so passionate about that? Because I know a portion of the story comes from when you were a child as well. So let's unpack that, man. Let's talk about why are you so passionate about, the consciousness and self-love.
Definitely. Well, the first chapter of the book is called "The God Inside." The God inside of you, your energy. I call it your energy. Energy. INNER.
Yeah, I remember that.
So, growing up as a child, and just a quick story. And for all parents, if you have children elementary, you definitely want to listen to this, or middle school. Growing up, I was abused as a child. Growing up, and the people who were watching me was my stepmother, and she would beat me. She would call me, stupid and dumb constantly, on top of beating me. So she literally beat that those negative affirmations into me. And so, but I won't say it destroyed me, but it definitely made me second guess myself, and so that's that mental abuse really hindered my growth or slowed my growth, so to speak, because children are supposed to be excited about life and
yes,
have
absolutely,
dreams and goals, and imagination is like on 1,000. So I didn't really have that the earlier years of my life when I was living with my father, but eventually, I saw the win in the mirror, and ran away. So, with the spirit of my ancestors, I just said, okay, just like our ancestors ran off the plantations, I ran away from her house and, it was able to make it to my mom's house by a miracle. And so that really, the ball began to change. So I realized how many of our youth were in my situation. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm always dealing with the matters of the mind, because the brain, they say that the brain's a terrible thing to waste. Yes, it is definitely a terrible thing to waste, because everything starts with your mindset, whether who you want to be, where you want to go, your educational capacity, your ability to read, do math, start businesses. It all starts, this is a supercomputer. The brain is a supercomputer that can literally take you wherever you want to go. Albert Einstein had a famous quote. He said that, what was it? He said a couple of quotes that's in the book, but my favorite one, when he talks about imagination, it was like, knowledge can take you many places. Well, no, knowledge can make you powerful, but imagination can take you anywhere in the world. So you just want to be powerful, or do you want to be able to travel wherever? And that's where imagination comes from. But if you don't have the faculties of your brain, then it's hard for you to imagine a better day, which transcends into how much faith you have or hope you have. Because if you can't imagine a better day, a better tomorrow, that means that your faith has diminished. So the two coincide, they go together. So that's why I emphasize, the matters of the mind so much, because with me, thank God I had a taste for reading at an early age, because one of my teachers challenged me when she said that Black people don't read, or if you want to hide something from a Black person, put it in the book. So I took offense to that. So luckily at a young age, elementary, I was able to have someone, Mrs. White, she might be listening. She challenged me at a very young age to read, and I hope everybody else in the classroom, that statement impacted them, because the class was maybe 90% black, 92% black. But when she said that, I started reading, what I'm saying? Vigorously, just reading, because reading to me was an escape from the hell I came from. So if I wanted to read my way, I guess, into the future, I read some books on science or technology. If I wanted to read about some of the great leaders of the past, one of the first books I read on autobiography was Martin Luther King. And so that empowered me, so I definitely.
Can you recall the title of that book, or it just was Martin Luther King?
It was definitely one of his books. I was so young. I have no idea.
Okay. No worries. Worries. I was just curious about what was some of the books that had actually influenced you, because obviously it made a very positive impact on you today as a well-established author that has literally went internationally, has went over to the UK to literally, advertise your books, and for you to actually do speaking engagements as well, in regards to your literature, man. I find that to be very, very, powerful, coming from your background, coming from such a rough place in South Florida as well, coming from such a tough area, man, and being where you are today. Do you feel like that's one of the reasons why you're so passionate as well for young men, because of everything you have went through in your life?
Oh, that's 100%. 1,000%. I remember making a promise, or I don't like using the word promise, to be honest, but I made a vow. I made a vow to God that if you get me out of this situation, I would definitely do my best to help as many brothers and sisters escape the hells of jails and prison. I talk about that in The Courage to Believe, and I kept that. I kept my word. I started a nonprofit, Courage to Believe International, named after that book. As you mentioned earlier, we did the C2B Chess Club and mentoring program. We host the annual Black on Black Crime Solutions program. And now, to take it just a step higher,
where you showed your documentary at.
Yes, we showed snips of it. And by the way, I was actually trying. I was not trying. I was because in the book, I'm trying to get people to eradicate the word try from the vocabulary. You know what I'm saying? Because trying just gives you so much room to make excuses or having a scapegoat. So what I was attempting to do was to release that documentary and sell the documentary to help fund our nonprofit. But now I believe I'm just going to release it on YouTube, because that was a couple of years ago and it still hasn't been released. And that's a long story, but I was working on publishing the documentary with Sony Films, but that fell through. So right now I'm just going to release it sometime this summer, so that everybody can watch and just promote what we've been doing in the community for years. But yeah, that definitely had played a big role, man. Because and also with the nonprofit. Speaking of that, see how good God is. Now people seeing this shirt and probably thinking about, okay, he got a NASA shirt. But the story behind there's a big story behind this shirt, and I wasn't even thinking about it. I just put it on, but God knew, hey, put on this shirt and tell this story, this testimony. We started the Courage to Believe International, which is a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and thecouragetobelieve.com is the website. And what we did was, with the chess program, we wanted to do more than just have them in the library playing chess. So I thought about, just my life, like what inspired me, other than reading. And because I never played chess. I only began playing chess because I understood that it was a key tool to help our youth understand or be proactive thinkers and to understand their value. You know what I'm saying? Because you have pawns, you got queens, kings, bishops, rooks, and knights. And many of us are just living life, playing checkers when life is playing chess with us. And that puts us at a huge disadvantage. And so when I realized that, that's what made me, all right, I'm going to take this seriously. I'm going to learn how to play chess. And we're going to teach our youth to be proactive thinkers so they don't just fall into the school to prison pipeline. Which has been going on, and scores of children going to prison every year. But fast forward, I thought about how can I inspire the youth, and I figured that what we can do is let's take them out the hood, because the libraries we do the programs in was always in the hood, which is fine. I'm from the hood. I'm not one of the people. I'm not scared to be in the hood. Shoot, I could be in the suburbs. I could be with the richest folks or the poorest folks. I'm gonna always be, balanced. So that's one of the blessings that I thank God for that characteristic. So we decided amongst me and the board members, James, James Bartholomew, James, David Miller, um,
Oh yeah,
Rosalind, you know
brother
what I mean?
David Miller. He
Right.
said, "Good job for pushing out the books." He said, "You are becoming a true author."
I appreciate that. And honestly, I feel that I didn't feel as if I was a true author until I wrote my second book, Seven Queens. I mean, one book, that wasn't enough. I had to have two, but now I got three. So now I'm a bona fide international author. But back to what I was saying, I realized that I needed to get the kids out of the hood, at least for one day. And so what we did was we invited the parents, and the children are anywhere from the ages of 8 to about 18. And so we invited the parents and the students, to a trip to NASA that we were going to pay for. All they had to do was finish the 3-month chess program, and they'll have a free ticket to go to NASA. And that's what we did. And so I hollered at NASA, told them, hey, we need a few tickets. Is there, can we schedule something? Because we wanted them to see the astronauts, to see spaceships, to see technology, to think of the future, to think of their future, more importantly. And so when I called NASA and emailed them what we were doing, they set up a call, and they ended up giving us, like, I think 25 free tickets. So all that money that we were going to spend, we ended up not having to spend any of it. We just, was able to buy the kids lunch for free and do this and that. And they got a chance to go to NASA to go see the astronauts, see a space lift. We wanted them to see a space lift, but they couldn't see that because NASA postponed the takeoff. So, but they got a chance to go there anyway and have fun, see the museum. And I mean, it was a grand. Matter of fact, it's probably, and I've done many things, many events, all my life. But that was probably one of the biggest highlights of my life, was to see the smiles on not just the participants' faces, but their parents.
Yes,
the parents were like, they were elated, man. They told me, like, I can't tell how many times they told me they thank you. They gave me cards, not just me, but the volunteers as well. But it was a blessing. And also the city of Pompano helped sponsor the event as well. So I give them a shout out for doing so.
Wonderful, man. Wonderful. That's powerful, man. We can definitely tell that you're very passionate about what you're doing. And the beautiful thing is that you haven't forgotten where you come from, man. So what is the takeaway that you want people to get from the book? You had the winner in the mirror again. You got the superpowers, the mind, body, and spirit. What do you want them to take away from that?
Man, that's a great question. The bottom line is, the main thing that I want people to walk away from is, and just from the title, is your divinity. Appreciating, acknowledging your divinity, knowing that you are a divine being. Is up to you to acknowledge it and activate it, and walk in it, live in it, breathe in it, sleep in it. So that's mainly the main thing. And a lot of people don't understand that they are divine. Our ancestors understood that. Even Wade Kemet, they understood that they were human beings having they were spiritual beings having a human experience. And so they walked in it. And look at the beautiful and magnificent things they were able to create because of it. So that's mainly one of the main things. And also the powers of the universe, working with Mother Nature, working with the universe, understanding that the creator, that we are children of the creator, whether we believe we are gods or not. We are children of the creator. So that makes us creators as well, or creatress. We can create things. We speak it and execute the plan that we have for ourselves. And I truly believe that this book is going to go great. It's going to really do good in schools, which was one of the main reasons why I wrote it, even though some of it may be a little advanced for middle school kids and high school students, because they may not understand how serious life is. Well, I can't say that. Some of them gone through some horrendous things,
Mhm.
but as far as like adults, some of us are already, far gone in our characters, or we're not going to change. But once we read the book and you acknowledge where you're weak at, and then I'm going to direct you and hold your hand and walk you through on how you could also acknowledge where you have strength in, and so you can increase that strength.
Yes.
So definitely. So it's all about what you're in agreement with. Are you in agreement with what the media is saying about you? About your community, or are you in agreement with what you truly believe, the greatness that you are and your destiny of who you were supposed to be, or you're predestined to be? So I hope people walk into their destiny after reading this book. So that's to summarize it. That's what it is, to walk into your destiny.
Wonderful. So I want to get a little personal with you.
Yes, sir. Please.
How did the adolescent Kevin become this adult Kevin? Like now you're this man with such high self-esteem. You know what you want out of life now. You're very confident,
Appreciate it.
You welcome, my brother, very well spoken, very focused, know the direction that you want out of life. Because I recall, earlier you said that she beat low self-esteem in you. So please, man, share with us, how did this low self-esteem Kevin become King Kevin Dorval that's taking dominion and being fruitful and multiply? Please, man, talk to us and help somebody today to get there today.
Man, that's a great question, man. That's a fantastic question. Actually, to veer off a little bit, my life reminds me a lot of King Henry Christoph. For those who don't know who King Henry Christoph is, actually, I posted today on my Instagram and Twitter. This book, Black Majesty, is about King Henry Christoph. It's actually worth a lot of money. That's a whole nother subject. But I didn't pay what it's worth. And that's
got the hookup. Got the
hookup. The people sold it to me. They didn't realize what they had. You know what I mean? So I mean, just let me tell you this. This book is actually, I bought it for $15. It's actually worth close to $1,000. So, but we'll go into that. But because it's very rare. It's published in 1928, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, indeed. A shout out to the Queen, the Mother Earth, that's birthing the seed. Queen Darlene Stewart in the building. His queen is out there supporting.
Queen Darlene's in the building, baby. Oh yeah, she posted the website. Appreciate it. Yeah, so all information on that website right there. Now, King Henry Christoph, he was born as Henry Christoph, and he was the first and only king in Haiti, the first ever, right? Now, his upbringing, he grew up on a plantation, so you knew he was getting whooped and beat, right? And and at some point in time, he had opportunity, to get in the army, and he rose in the ranks, and then eventually calls himself king, which is self-promotion, which is one of the bigger chapters in his book, is the powers of self-promotion. Like, we don't have to wait for a 9 to 5 to promote us, or some managers promote us. We can promote ourselves by little simple things, and then it can go to bigger things. Now, I mentioned King Henry Christoph because I'm Haitian, and he was one of the leaders of the Haitian Revolution. I have a big presentation on that July 30th, and we'll put the link up so everybody can see it. But growing up, I had some belief that I was somewhat special because like my hair, like, see, you got a bald head right now, and I got the locks that's growing.
But watch yourself now. Watch yourself.
No, with my hair, like, because when I get like a low fade cut, there's a V right here, like a hair pattern kind of changes, and it's annoying because I always have to brush it a certain way. So I always felt as if that was a sign of me being of royalty, because they were so different. So that's really probably one of the first things that really helped me, my confidence. Like, even though she telling me that I ain't, you know, SISH, I can't spell that word. SC.
Sugar honey iced tea.
Right. She called, you know, that I wasn't nothing. Right. But at the same time, once I was able to escape that situation, because I don't think that would have happened if I had not escaped, had I not run away. If I haven't run away from that plantation, you know, I probably would have never have become King Kevin that I am today. So once I was able to get out of that situation and start being around love of my mother and my siblings, I live with my father. That kind of, you know, that nurtured, you know what I'm saying, the greatness within me. And when I met Miss White, by the time I got to the 5th grade, Miss White, you know, I had a huge speech impediment problem, like big, like, you know, I studied heavily.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Heavily. But in Mrs. White's class, you know, she seen that I was kind of somewhat shy. Even though I was handsome, I was somewhat shy and timid.
Somebody feeling themselves. Somebody feeling
it. Hey, you have to, man. You gotta believe in yourself, man. You gotta believe in
no
yourself.
doubt, brother, no doubt.
So when Mrs. White, she noticed that, but she also noticed that I was very intelligent, and I was trying to hide my intelligence to fit with the crowd. And so she would constantly challenge me, like, on a regular basis, man. She even came to my house one time after school to talk to my mom a couple of times. And so my confidence actually, to be honest with you, came through reading. You know, I started reading about the great ones, you know, that we get taught in school. Booker T. Washington, Martin Luther King, I just mentioned, Harriet Tubman. And then as I began to get a little older, I began to have a consciousness of reading beyond what they teach us in school. So I started reading about people like General Toussaint Louverture. Reading about Henry Christophe, I just mentioned, Jean-Jacques Dessalines, three
Would
gentlemen.
You say he's the baddest man alive.
Hey man, General Toussaint, side note, he's the greatest hero of all times. And I've always said that. And I'll challenge anybody who want to debate me on that. I said that on Sarnetta TV show the other day. He got a couple scholars who want to debate me. I don't care who you is, how many doctorate degrees you have, what kind of history classes you teach. I would debate anybody, anywhere, anytime on that subject. And I have books and resources, references already on deck, you know. And so, I mean, and not just to you know, to like downgrade or diminish any of the other African brothers and sisters who did wonderful things for our racial history. But just to be real, General Toussaint changed the system. You know what I'm saying? He changed the system.
I'm globally. Shaka Zulu too. You know, I'm just saying.
People always, he's the only one. Shaka Zulu is the only one. And I had told Darlene that. I said, look, they can name out anybody they want. He's the only one that I would actually
entertain. Bad man, brother. Shaka was a bad man. He was a bad man.
The world was filled with bad men. You got Hannibal. You know what I'm saying? You got Queen.
Now Hannibal was a bad man too. Now.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, there's tons of them. You know what I mean? So, but General Toussaint changed the system, and he was also, and he did it with no formal education, but he was able to play the biggest powers in the world at literally at one time. You know what I'm saying? Britain, Spain, and France, and with with the United States backing France to make sure that the blacks don't rise, they don't revolt and be successful, even with the U.S. money. General Toussaint and his army of former enslaved Africans, you know what I'm saying, really put a beating on them, and it was a huge embarrassment. And part of the reason why Haiti is struggling today, because they crippled the economy from the beginning to make sure that Haiti paid the price for what the embarrassment they did to Europe.
Let me ask you something. Do you feel like he was an influence on you because you have a warrior spirit about you? So do you feel like that he had an influence on you as far as being a stand-up guy and fight for what you believe in, reading this about him?
Oh, 1,000%. But it actually goes deeper than him. You know, that sense of confidence, that warrior spirit comes from, you know, me knowing the history of my people, going back from the homie, which is today Benin, which is West Africa, and doing that research reading. Here we go back to reading again. You know what I'm saying? Reading is definitely powerful, man. But I talk a lot about that in the first book, The Courage to Believe, extensively. But long story short, when I was in college, I made a vow to myself, another vow, that I would not leave college without graduating. I would not graduate without taking a course on African history, because FAU Florida Atlantic University didn't have an African history course at the time. And a lot of students were mad at that. They were angry, like, why we can't have African history? We got history on Europe, Asia, and God knows what else, but not on African history. Mm-hmm. So there was a petition that went on. And finally, by the time I was a junior, they, offered the course. And so I took a course on Caribbean history and also African history. So in the African history course,
that's the first time I heard it. Anybody said it was a course on Caribbean history.
Yeah, history of the Caribbean. Some great books that I still have the 2 books from that class. One of them I read so much that it's literally tearing apart. So and that book was called. It's by Jan Jurowski, Caribbean History. But that book, even though it's about the whole Caribbean, it emphasizes the Haitian Revolution and what happened in Haiti. And the reason why that is because, Haiti was, and I'm gonna be back on your show to go more in detail on that.
Yes, looking forward to it.
Oh, trust me, it's worth the wait. And we're gonna talk about the assassination of the president, U.S. involvement in the whole thing, and just the history of the revolution and why that impacts, the current events today. But anyway, when I took her class, she had, she asked me a question. She knew I was Haitian because I got Haiti tattooed on my arm, as you can see right here. And with my first tattoo, I got 3 tattoos. This is my first tattoo I got when I was sophomore, junior in high school. She asked me a question about Haiti. And she knew I didn't, and my answer, she knew that my knowledge was only based in Haiti, but no information that predated the Africans when they got to Hispaniola, which is Haiti today, or Saint Domingue, which is Haiti today. And so, and it was regarding Benin, which was the homie, a warrior kingdom. Mm-hmm. Benin is the name that is now is next to Togo, Ivory Coast. A small country, but powerful country. It was one of the most powerful countries in West Africa, if not all of Africa, because what they were doing was as a warrior kingdom, and I'm sure you heard of the Amazon warriors.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
That's from the homie. And General Toussaint knew that his great grandfather was a king in that country, so he had a sense of pride in himself. So Dr. Bekubitz, the professor, when she knew I didn't know anything about the homie, and we all had to pick a country to do a presentation on, and I chose maybe Nigeria or Kenya, and she was like, "No, you're gonna do the homie." And I said, "Okay, I don't know too much about Africa anyway, so any country I'll be glad to do." And so doing that research, I felt like I was enlightened so much, man. You know how that in the cartoons the light bulb goes off. Light bulbs were going off like bling, 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 bling. You know what I mean? So ever since then, I see myself as a king. Ever since that, I did that presentation. And we only had like 10 minutes to present to the class. And when my 10 minutes was up, man, I wanted to share so much more. And everybody felt that energy because I connected with my ancestors through that research. Wow. And that's why reading is so important. It connects you with your history. You know who you are. You understand the greatness of your people. And you understand, where you can start or where they left off, where you can start and continue and build. And so that's what the power is in reading. So that's what it did for me, man. It really was a blessing, to do that presentation, brother.
Yes, indeed, man. Yes, indeed. So with that being said, man, powerful session. We got your information up there, family. Hey, listen, make sure you go check him out. www.king, well, not King. He is a king, but on there it says Kevin Dorval.
The website is also
www.kevindorval.com. Go check him out there. And brother, what do you have coming up? You have any upcoming programs where you want people to come tune in, or you got any events where you would like people to attend, what you have going on before we close out. And if you would, please share your last thoughts. That'd be great.
Last thoughts, I appreciate it. Yes, well, I just had a big successful book signing event, Atlanta Kickback, last weekend. Thank you for everybody who supported, who was a part of that. I do have a huge presentation that I'm doing July 30th, next Friday, if I'm not mistaken, that's a Friday, with the Haitian American Museum of Chicago. I'm doing a presentation on General Toussaint versus Napoleon Bonaparte, who was the greater leader and hero. So it's a free event, Eventbrite. Definitely register. I'm going to place it in the comments of this video, or maybe you can do it. I don't know if everyone would see it if I do it, but please share it. Have everybody register right now as soon as you get off the show to register. It's free. And the more people that register, the more that they would want me to come back and do the presentation. It's going to be powerful. So we're going to go to detail. We're going to go into detail about General Toussaint and everything that he represented. Also, we're going to go into detail with Napoleon Bonaparte. So there's a bias that I'm going to choose Toussaint. I'm not going to lie, but Napoleon was a serious individual himself. So I definitely want people to tune in for that. And of course, get my books, The Win in the Mirror, or 7 Toxic Queens, or The Courage to Believe. And I'm looking forward to doing a lot of speaking engagement with different schools regarding the workshops. There's a workshop that accompanies this book. It isn't just you're going to get a book. There's a workshop that goes with it for schools, universities, churches, community centers, whatever it is. I truly believe that we need to get a book like this. Maybe that has to be my book, but definitely books that address mental illness and suicide within the Black community. That is vitally important, because we losing our youth, and it's unfortunate that this is going on, because they're losing their self-confidence, losing their hope, and this and that. So hopefully we can change that. We need to. But brother, do me a favor. See the link that you have, the kevindover.com. Before you end the show, take that link off. Take that URL off, just in case Facebook may block it or whatever the case may be, because they will do it. Because even when I share my stories, they they block it. So you can put up this link right here, the last one, as the URL for the show. Because I want people to have
the one that Darlene had posted.
Right. Or what you can do is, you see where the .com is, put like a star there or something like that. You know what I mean? So that way, they won't. I mean, it's unfortunate, but I'm so pro-Black and so conscious. They blocked my main website. You know what I mean? So
I put that up there for you, brother.
Man, appreciate it. And also, I want to tell you guys, any last thoughts, man. If you have a dream or goal that you have for yourself, I don't care what it looks like. I don't care your financial situation. You could be living on the streets right now, watching this on your phone, on a sidewalk somewhere, or you could be in corporate America in a big fancy office. We all have a purpose in life. We all have a destiny to obtain. Some people are there to help you get there, and other people are there to make sure you don't get there. So make sure you know the difference between the two. And regardless of what it looks like, speak the future you want, that you desire, not what social media is telling you, not what the police or judge is telling you your future will be. You are the master of your ship. You control your destiny. So anyway, brother, man, I truly appreciate you letting me get on the show.
Hey, no problem. Easy day, brother. We glad to have you on again, family.
Oh, please do. And also, if you want me back on your show next week for the thing on Haiti, please, the presentation for next week, man. Let's set it up, because I'm ready. I'm ready to put it out there, brother.
Okay, let's do it.
All right.
Let's do it. Okay, family, in closing, we thank you all for tuning in again to Synergetic Network Group LLC, where we are your community liaison for entrepreneurs and consumers. For those who are on Clubhouse, for those who are on Clubhouse, all right, what I need you to do is make sure that you follow me on there. Okay, on tomorrow, I'm having a program at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Daylight Time, for our people. We're gonna have a family discussion as it relates to cooperative economics. Okay, and the title of it is Africans in America Financial Literacy Group. Okay, so if you'd like to be a participant in that, please feel free to reach out to me. Okay, you can find me on Clubhouse as Alton Walden. Okay, on Facebook you can find me as Amar Amari. That's AMARE space AMARI. Again, tomorrow at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Daylight Time. That's 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're an hour behind Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so tomorrow we're going to be in there. We're all going to come together. We're not coming in there to complain. We're coming in there to gain. We're not coming in there to talk about, well, we know what happened. We're talking about how we're going to make things happen. Okay, so it's not a complaining session. I want you to understand that. It is a solutionary session, not a complaining session. All right, so we're going to have subject matter experts in the arena of finances and business. So if you are an aspiring entrepreneur, if you're a person that wants to grow your money, okay, and you want to learn how to gain, grow, sustain, and protect your monies, you want to be in the house. I'm not talking, my queen and I, we made 6 figures first year in business. Okay, we're real estate investors. We have a financial service company. Okay, my queen is a freight broker. Our children is in business, getting money. Son is going to college, going to get his accounting degree. He'll be coming into the business as an accountant when he gets his degree next year. So listen, family, we're not just talking it, we're walking it. We do family together. Okay, that's how we do it. We do family business together. Okay, son is going into the real estate industry, right? Oldest son. So what am I saying to you? I'm saying to you that you need the tools in order for you to build a financial shelter for you and your family. And we cannot build a nation without the resources. Make sure you come join it. African in America Financial Literacy Group on Clubhouse on tomorrow. Again, 6 o'clock p.m. Central Daylight Time, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you are not on Clubhouse and you have an Android, reach out to me and I'll make sure you get in Clubhouse. Okay, I have a total of 6 invites. So if you want to come in the building, reach out to me. Okay, and I'll make sure that happens for you. All right, we love you. We appreciate you. For my queen, Amani, Amari, and I, we appreciate every last single solitary one of you. Looking forward to serving you again. Have a blessed one.
Let's up, Synergetic.